Mm-hmm. Camera off.
What's that? What's up?
Okay. So this is all live and active now.
It is live.
Let's get it done. Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that it's where it needs to be. It looks like it is live on YouTube. And I was supposed to go to Facebook too. I'm just trying to check in on that, make sure it's live.
Cool. So you can do this in Discord as well, like simultaneously.
Is it allowing you?
Well, it seems like I'm live on both. I can hear myself now in your background.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that. It's playing in 2 different locations. I know. You know why? It's because of Discord's up. That's why. There we go. Let me mute this. Go ahead now.
What's that? You want me to?
There we go.
Are you a joke?
All right, yeah. So let's do this shit. That way I can hear you and everything's good. Because you're in here, and then that way I can hear you live if you got anything to say while they're on the phone. I'll just be like this. And I can mute this tab anytime I need. I'm ready to go.
Sweet. Okay. I'm going to... Do you care if I kill Discord? Because I need to...
No, I mean, like, that's the whole point. I mean, this is the first one. This, for comments or anything like that on Facebook or in YouTube, they'll show up here. We're just kicking this thing off, man. People barely know about this. I'm excited. Somebody wants to come and say what's up.
Yeah, that'll be really funny. This will be like the first one to look back on and be like, look at these 2 idiots.
Why not? Why not? This is how Closers Cafe started too, man.
Factoids. So we're going to go negotiate some deals today.
Hell yeah, we are. All right. If you're around,
this is gonna be cool because you're gonna be. You said you're calling some buyers, right?
I am. That's what we're gonna do here for 2 hours. Is the standard day. Is you may see me talk to title agents. I mean, we handle everything here, right? So one of those things is to be a jack of all trades, but you got to be a master of all. And scaling a successful wholesale company, which is what I've successfully done, requires a lot of systems, processes, and studious effort, right?
Yep.
That's where I basically tell people to put some discipline in their body, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the ways that I calm the chaos is doing exactly this as I block my time. And so instead of just doing this by myself or just with my staff, right, as we do trainings, we do call reports, we did this live for 2 years together, right, where we just helped a bunch of people, but it was behind closed doors where, you know, you couldn't reach us unless you paid $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 to get in the front door. And then you still had to find us, right?
Yep.
But that's what we mean by that is, train thousands of wholesalers for sure.
Oh, 100%. I think that what's going to be cool about this as we start to like kick this off is there's going to be both sides to it, right? So like you're calling, buyers for deals that you already have under contract, whereas I'll be calling, agents to negotiate these deals like on the upfront, right? So
yeah, exactly. And the thing is if my team needs me to come in because they're too busy doing other things to go pitch creative, guess what I do? I show up and I take the swing at bat, and I got a pretty good batting average. Yeah. So that's what it is. So, I mean, as far as it goes, you've worked in every part of this transaction, right? From front to back. And that's kind of what this is it's not just Unchained in the sense that when we tried to do this before, if you remember correctly, we got our hand slapped and we were quote unquote told that if we did what we wanted to do, that we were picking up pitchforks, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And again, not naming anything, I understand the game, right? But at the same time, like this is something that we've been talking about for 2 years now, is putting this together completely of our own brand, our own volition, our own everything.
Yeah.
And now we have the tools to do it. And I'm sitting in a sub-2 house right now. If, you can take a look right now. I've got a giant office that's going to turn into a huge studio, and we're going to do a lot of awesome shit together.
That's sick, man. Yeah. Well, that's a whole. I don't know. Have you made that video yet about the house that you just moved into?
Yeah. So I've made a ton of videos. It is a matter of getting them all out in a seamless fashion, right? No, it's a lot of work. It's something that I'm eagerly doing as you guys can check it out. So you can check it out on Discord. You can check me out on YouTube. You're obviously here on Facebook or YouTube right now. I want to hear from you. And this is what you'll hear from me on Saturday when I go present at the meetup. There'll be another live stream there where, I've got 55 minutes to go shake some souls, man.
Nice.
And so how are you going to do it? You need the receipts, right? So you didn't pay, and I don't want you to have to pay $10,000. It's free to go join the Discord and go ask questions, folks. That's the name of the game here. You want to know how creative finance did change my life in the sense that it opened my mind up even further past what was already done when I quit the city of Fort Worth and really just changed my life. The way I've said it, I think the best way I've said it is I stopped solving other people's problems and being resented for it and started solving my own. And used the college brain to get there and learned how I learned. And now we're here. So let's see how good I am at this. So you guys can all see what we're going to do today. And that's the blend is I am going to be focused solely on what my company needs right now is I need to dispo a bunch of contracts, right? And so we do have people working on this at all times, but I am going to, as we have a saying, is if you're leaning, you're cleaning, right? I got that from Trixie. Oh, that's cool. You're messing with did you just do that?
I'm trying to see your beautiful face.
No, I like it because I don't have a studio set up yet. So, I've got a whiteboard chock full of crazy shit. I've got boxes that need to get unpacked. But it's shit. Closing on flips and doing construction and, multiple wholesale contracts closed. I just closed one yesterday. It's funded today. Actually, hold up. Did I just get paid? Hold up.
Oh, no, it's pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out. So when I mess with this view, it messes with your view too. Yeah.
Yeah. But it messes it for, I think, everybody.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you can highlight us. I prefer it. Though you can't see my messy ass desk. But yeah.
Nobody gives two shits. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So that's the mix that you guys are going to get here if you are paying attention. We'll jump into it here in a minute and see if anybody is going to jump in again. We'll do this for about 5-10 minutes. We'll kick it off. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday, folks. Every Tuesday from 1 to 3 Central. What's that time over on Weird Coastland?
Weird, the best coast? That's 11 to 1.
11 to 1 on the best coast time. Don't worry, I'll get Brad to move to Texas.
Yeah, those house prices the other day when I saw them.
Hey, look at my flip 3.2, 1,900 square feet, nice neighborhood. Just saying, this is one of the few houses that you're gonna find under $300,000 anymore. That's why we're getting all you weird coast folks.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why everybody's going there.
Well, leave your shit there. Anyway,
be that way for too long.
I'll tell you what, you could bring L&L barbecue. I'll tell you what, you could bring L&L barbecue and I'm in. All right. Fine. So I'm going to be jumping in here. You're going to get that blend. I'm sure you're queued up and ready to go get some buyers on the phone. We'll go back and forth. There's also a place where if you're in our Discord, you guys can hop in here and you can let us know if you want us to call one of your leads that you had a difficult time on. If you want to call one of my leads, holler at me. Right. I have very expensive leads that I work on. And there's other things that we can work on together too. And you'll learn all of that throughout the process. But the name of this game is Closers Cafe, where we are just going to be banging out calls. So with the intro out of the way, that's a little bit about who we are. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it done.
I'm ready. We're going to have some fun. Oh, do you want to introduce them? Do you want to introduce them to the phrase of the day? I think we start it now and we leave it strong, man. If
do we have one? We have a good one?
Didn't you tell me about that game where we just pull out a card?
Oh God, I'll get it. Dude. I'll get it. Well, it's all the way in my freaking house, so I'll have to go get it.
Well, we'll chat GPT some way. All right. So for those of you that don't know, for anybody that's tuning in that wasn't a part of that mentorship, there's tons of people on my Facebook that are all over that. So if you guys missed the Closers Cafe of the past, it's a little bit different now. Again, we're Unchained in the sense that we can do whatever the hell we want. We can say whatever the hell we want. This is just Brad and Eric. And so we'll be doing the same shit, just elevated on the next level. So without further ado. The phrase of the day is basically, are you going to look one up here while I introduce this? If you guys leave a comment right now, right? And for now, until I get to know y'all a little bit better, I'll tell you what, I don't even give a shit. Give me a phrase that I have to work into my pitch while I'm talking to somebody. I'll give you an example. My favorite one from back in the day when we did all of this was but it was the first one too, just because it was like, that's how I knew I could mess with Brad, right? That's how I knew I could ride with him. Like, I was just like, okay, all right. Now it's competition, because I'm like, okay, we have to work this phrase into our pitch. So one of my favorites was between you, me, and a can of Copenhagen, right?
Yeah,
so
that was the OG classic.
Yeah. And so while I'm talking to this gentleman or this lady on the phone, and this was back in the day when we were just doing direct to agent outreach, right? A lot of no's and a lot of stuff. So you learn very quickly that you can just have some fun with this shit. And you can be a human, and that was the lesson, right? Is that you can be a human and make mistakes, be humble, and just be honest with people. And so in that situation is, well, I'll tell you what, sir, between you, me, and a can of Copenhagen, I don't think that price is going to work for me. But I do have a little secret I could tell you about called creative finance and blah, 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 blah. So
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I got it's kind of long, so you have to remember it, but I'd say this is a no-brainer, but I've seen people debate over pineapple on pizza.
I could do that. I can do that.
That was kind of easy. That was a little easy, but it's just long. You have to remember it.
Oh, I got you. What was the last part of something about pizza? Pineapple on pizza?
I've seen people. I'd say this is a no-brainer, but I've seen people debate over pineapple on pizza.
Oh no, because I have a strong opinion about that. So
there you go. Oh man. Okay, cool.
Somebody, as we get going here, because there's a bit of a delay. So if you guys throw in the chat a phrase of the day that you want me to slip in, I promise you, I'm gonna knock this one out of the park. This is a pretty easy one, especially when you're on the dispo side, right? And I'm selling a property. Like, this is gonna be I'd say this is a no-brainer, but
I got one more. If you want multiple, or you want just one? We're gonna get.
Yeah, we'll work this into a poll next time for everybody too, so you guys can do this before the show starts. All right, I'm trying to keep up with this stuff, man. I am not a tech guy, right? So we're gonna work with it. You've got that there. I've got this here.
That's cool.
And then Facebook.
Facebooky.
That's right.
That's actually funny. Okay, I'm going to call this agent real quick.
Sometimes I'll just make one up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna fumble on that one because it's so long.
Dusting some rust off, bud?
No, this deal's about to go off smoother than a grease slip and slide.
Like, that one's so stupid, it's difficult, right? Like,
grease slip and slide.
So all I have to say, Brad, is that one, you've mentioned pineapple, and now a grease slip and slide. What are you into?
It's chat GPT. I don't know what I've trained this chat GPT to say, but it's come up with some stuff, man.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna get this going. Let's rock this shit. All right, so that one is officially on hold. Yes, I had buyers go out there and got egg on my face because of dumb shit. Mm-hmm. Buyers are liars, sellers are worse. Let's do this one.
All right, are we doing the pizza one? Is that the one we're sticking with?
I mean, that's a mouthful.
Okay, you want a short one? All right.
No, that's fine. I'm down. I like the challenge. I'm good. We'll go with an oldie, which is more awkward than a porcupine on a nudist convention.
Oh, I'm having a harder. That's a long one too. I'm having a harder time making friends than a porcupine at a nudist convention.
I'm writing it down.
All right. All right, I'll write that down so I don't forget it.
Harder time making friends than a porcupine. That's so stupid. I'm just imagining me say, I'm getting it ready in my head, like where I can like dial it up, you know? It's like I'm gonna have to say this shit with a straight face. Nudist convention. Nah, man. Here's the thing: if you're a person on the phone and you can get somebody to laugh, then you can do good business with them. More often than not, anyway.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've also met some crazy ass people. Let's get this going so y'all can hear it. I'll do it the hard way. That's nothing but love for all of you. Because I can bang out 100 calls in an hour with our systems, but like to do this so everybody can hear it and I don't have to download it and just get it live and unfiltered. We do it all through the good old telephone.
Okay, this is good.
It's still through smartphone, but. I remember this file. All right, we're good here. So let's go here. I'm just going to blast Investor Lift. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, all good. I have this one that I was waiting to call, so I'll call him.
Ring, ring.
Good.
Hi, you've reached Freddie. I'm not in at the moment, but if you
always double dial. Hey, is this Freddie?
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, how can I help you?
Hey, this is Eric Vodicka. I was here on Investor Lift, and it looks like you showed some interest in a property I've got on here. Does 424 Westview Terrace sound familiar?
What city?
Arlington.
Arlington. I don't know what. Was this a duplex? I mean, I remember something in Arlington.
No. It's a townhome. Yeah. It's a nice townhome.
It's a townhome.
Yes, sir. It's got an HOA. It's got includes roof and a lot of other fun stuff. So.
The layout, you said?
Yeah, so we've got all those pictures on Investor Lift as well. There's a link on the actual thing. Do you by chance have your computer handy?
No, not right now in front of me.
Okay, is there a good time that maybe we could connect later today or here in the near future to take a look at that? We are trying to make a decision this week, and I'd love to get you everything you need to get your name in the hat.
Can you text me that link?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Which one it is, so I can memorize live.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. I've got detailed pictures and videos. Give me just a second, and I'll kick it over to you in text right now. Maybe you can pull it up and take a look.
That'll work. Yeah. Right now, I'm out here getting lunch right now, so as soon as I get out of here,
well, can you do me a favor then here real quick? I'll let you get back to that because I don't want to get in the way of that. Lunch is, most important meal of the day. Can you shoot me your full name and your email address? I just want to verify it against Investor Lift, and then I'll kick this back in return.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Freddie. Yeah, I got you. But just I got fat fingers. Can you text it to me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Thanks, Freddie. Yeah, and then we'll put it together. Thanks. So that's a touch point. I'm going to give him a point. And what I just did is I respected his time, right? Because I heard stuff in the right? And I said, but there's a law of reciprocity here is I want something else. I already have his information. It's on Investor Lift, but I also want something in return. Is I want him to give me that information, and then I want to officially take this out of Investor Lift, right?
Right.
I want to chat with him and get to know him, especially if he's a buyer in this area, right? But he doesn't have that access, so I'm going to give that to him and then call him back here in about 30 minutes or so.
Nice.
With the text is, let me know when a good time after you're done with lunch is, right? And it's also referred to, dispositions is a bit different, folks. It's more professional. It's less You still have to stay on top of buyers from time to time, but it's much less gruesome and cumbersome than the sell side, if that makes any sense. You still got to stay on top of buyers, though, especially when they're in different countries and everything else. Like, yeah, just because you have money doesn't mean you know what to do with it or how to operate with it. Perfect. See, look, that's all I want.
Are you getting buyers from different countries a lot?
I've gotten some, but so this is my process as we designed it, is that this is part of my vetting, is I want to make sure that they're responsive. And if I find out early on that it takes, 3 hours to get a text back when you said you were going to text me in an hour, that's something that I'm going to take to the closing table, because especially if I'm replacing myself in a contract with an assignment, I want to make sure that who I'm replacing myself with actually represents who I am, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the piece here. And that's what I promise to my clients. And so why would you say it if you're not going to follow through? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel it.
And so this is a process, it's a touch point. Now, it's very similar on dispositions as it is on acquisitions, right? So when you know this as well as I do, that everybody always talks about acquisitions. And that's where a lot of the fire is, because that's what most people are focused on, is getting their first contract. And then it's like, oh, shit, what do I do now? Somebody said yes. Now what?
Yeah, often that is actually scarier than somebody saying no.
We teach this, right? But go for the no. Like, save your time, folks. Save your time. If they don't want to talk, or if they're busy there, I'm going to have to explain everything I said to him again anyway, right? Because he's not paying attention. He's worried about his sub sandwich and his, cream of broccoli soup.
Yeah, that's something that, like, it was hard for me when I first was doing wholesaling. Is you're looking for that first deal, and I think that people get so caught up in trying to, like, you get a lead, or you get an opportunity, and it's like, God, I don't want to let this one slip, and like everybody tells you to go for the no, right? Like you just did, but you feel like, no, like I can do this, like everybody else, who's saying that just didn't know how to talk to this person like I do,
I fight that even on experienced closers, right?
Yeah,
where they spend 25 minutes on the phone when you should have gotten there in 8, right?
Yeah.
That's at least 2 other phone calls that you could have made today, right?
Yeah.
But I do understand, but like, this is a key piece that I think becomes with experience, is knowing when to latch on and when to release, right? Is like, I've gotten deals after 6 months of chasing effectively, right? Where it's like constant follow-ups. But if you have the right systems, that becomes less stressful. It gets easier, because it's just a number on a screen effectively, until you get that person and you get to connect with that person and actually solve problems. So up until they actually put their hand up and want to talk to you, there's no reason to overexert effort on any of this. I'm not comping this prop. I already have all of that here on the buy side, but if this was a seller, I'm not comping this thing yet, right? I'm moving on to the next one. I'm getting another dial in, right? Because it's a numbers game at the end of the day, moreover than it's not. Now, how good you are with those numbers, your conversion rates, comes from experience and natural gift, I would say, but everybody can do this.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go this one.
In the future, when we do our private Discords, I'll share my screen, but obviously I'm not going to do that because these are active files, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was another piece, is he wanted to give me his info, and this is a live stream, so I'm going to push people off the phone or tell them to text it to me more often than not, just to protect them.
Where'd it go?
Got it. And then we're going to come over to, and just as an FYI, make it easy.
I'll mute it if she picks up.
Yeah. So as a friendly reminder, make it easy to do business with yourself, folks. Like, flat out, we send runners out to any property that we lock up under contract. That's for our own means, because we are looking at that as a buyer. But the other piece is that if you want to actually wholesale and you want to do good business with repeat buyers, make it easy to do business with yourself. Get your contracts locked in, get your paperwork locked in, understand what the hell you're doing, ask questions if you don't understand, and be humble, right? Put your hand up if you need help. Because you can actually hurt people doing this. And that's why wholesalers sometimes have a bad name, is because there's a bunch of loose cannons out here doing dumb shit. So, do good business, I guess is my point. Tear external. There we go. Public. And this is 424. There we go. For instance, in this share file, which I'll share my screen eventually, but in the share file, I've got pictures, videos, and everything else involved on this file. And I have the recent inspection report in there as well for anybody that actually wants to view this, because I spent money on that inspection report. I know what the construction is going to need to be. And so you guys will get to see that as well when I get somebody on the phone that is ready to talk about it. It might even be Freddie, who I just talked to, that wants to actually talk details, because I can go in there and actually explain what I believe needs to be done as a flipper or even as a landlord, right? Because I am both of those things. So we can have that high level conversation, and you guys get to see it here so that you can lean on my experience, right? And if you guys reach out to me and we do business, and business to me, and Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, is literally being a part of the community, being part of this movement, if you want to call it that. It's pretty straightforward. It's unrepresented. We are part of a community. I am part of your community. If you have questions, you have to ask. So as soon as we have an exchange, we're now partners. You can lean on my experiences. You can pull me into those conversations. That's a big piece. But we have to talk. We have to communicate. And I have to know that your hand's in the air to be able to help. Now, if you guys go out there and say, my partner, Eric, and we've never talked to each other again, and somebody calls me and they're like, do you know Tim? No, I don't know Tim, because Tim doesn't have the balls to come talk to me first. But I'm really easy to do business with. I just require people to be ethical and above board. Copy link. Like Freddie here. I like Freddie. Appreciate you, Freddie.
Alrighty. Come on.
And I'm just typing a message here, giving him my contact information, and furthermore, giving him my landing page so that he can see all the other properties that we have, because if he's a local buyer, I've got tons of real estate in my inventory. Come check me out. Again, make it easy to do business with yourself. This is not hard stuff. And I make it easy to do this for them instead of sending them an email and having to rewrite an email 15 times over and do all this shit constantly over and over and over. I just have some templates set up that, and then furthermore, I have a landing page that has all of our files that's updated every time something changes. So it's just a constant poster card for anything that we're doing. And it just, not only that, it shows that we're currently doing business and that we've done a lot of business, right? So it's that legitimacy factor. And so that's a part of it, is that you guys can lean on that too. I'm more than willing to do business with especially new people, because I just want to make sure that people are doing this ethical and above board. If you do good business, you can do repeat business, and you can really change your fucking life. It's magic. It's magic. Just do good shit. Just be a decent human, and things will happen. I give up. Reading these texts. Oh man. Oh, all right. Let's get another guy on the phone. That was Uno, and so I will. Can you hear me typing?
Yeah, it sounds like you're like in one of those like classic offices. You know?
All right, my bad. I'll fix that for everybody. I apologize.
Like the lady who's like typing with her fingernails.
I just type really, really fast. Oh man, my bad. All right, let's get you up. 66 images viewed. 66, folks. This guy spent 7 minutes on this file. Hey, Joshua? Oh, sorry, this is Eric. I just realized I called him from the wrong number.
I'll say we can't hear you. Well, can't hear the phone.
Yeah, that's what we're getting used to doing this again. At least it picked up.
Hey, this is sorry I couldn't get to my phone. If you would, just give me a call.
Okay, there we go. Got it. Were you getting him on the phone or?
Yeah, go for it, man. Again, ring.
Sweet.
Working on it. And I'm going to call him again. I was just sending a message just because I hung up, and then he did pick up, though.
Hey, this is sorry I couldn't get to my phone. If you would, just give me a call back. And I'll gladly return your message.
Hey, Josh. Sorry, I called and then dropped the phone call there. This is Eric. I was going through Investor Look. It looks like you're interested in one of the properties I have available here, 424 Westview Terrace. If that rings any bells, do me a favor. Give me a ring back here. The number you can always reach me at here is 469-746-5316. Again, that's 469-746-5316. Thanks. Have a good day. He texted me and said he can't talk right now. No worries.
The sound of your typing is taking me back to like my corporate America days. It's giving me PTSD.
I gotta fix that shit for next time. He said the same shit. Yeah, and when I was in college, my ex-wife used to say the same. She's like, it's insane. She's like, I can't. She's like, I have to turn the TV up like 6 notches. when I was like writing a term paper, because I'm like, I'm getting in there. I'm like, they're gonna learn today. They're gonna tease it. Oh, this professor's gonna get it today. Motherfucker, I had to get up at 3 a.m. to come listen to you talk hungover.
That's hilarious.
Anyway.
Oh, what division is this in? Well, I need to know. Oh, it's not far. Okay, cool.
Man, I gotta get this shit together. I just wish the only downfall I have for doing this, which I'll get trimmed up moving forward, is it's difficult having to do it here. I just got to get this onto my phone, and I've never used Investor Look on my phone, but it's always been on the platform because everything I do is here, right?
Yeah.
That is one hell of a name.
All right, let's see if this guy.
Wait a minute. I think I know this seller. Hold up a second, or this buyer. I think I met him.
No, shoot. I messed that up.
What'd you say?
Oh, I just messed up this freaking. I'll do it again.
Yeah, I got to hear that smooth operator, man. We got to get you on the get you a call here.
I know. They don't answer, man. We'll try. Okay, sweet. I was like, I don't know if it's Biden's business. I didn't want to mess it up. Anyways, so I was calling about that one. I was potentially looking to throw an offer at it. But I kind of wanted to call you and just kind of see what the story was because it looks like such a nice darn house. I'm like, how is this thing still on market?
Yeah. So they bought it from me. It was a brand new build.
Oh, interesting.
It's still a couple years old.
Uh-huh.
And they decided they were going to move back to Minnesota. That's where they're originally from.
Oh, whoa.
His company that he works for is in Minnesota as well. So that's the kind of the motivation for them to list it.
Sure.
The house will at closing have, in fact, they probably have done it already, has a full solar system installed to the tune of $25,000 that they're paying for out of pocket.
Wow.
They had it done about a year ago. I recommended that we go a little bit lower in the price because they wanted to recoup some money. They went with the $459.9,
right.
And then about a week and a half ago, they decided to agree with me and move it to $449, which is more in the range, I think, and we are getting more action. So,
right.
Tell me about your interest.
So we own a couple rentals down in Salem now, and so we've been ironically just doing a lot of these like newer subdivision houses, just because they rent so well. There's no maintenance to them or anything like that. So just honestly just trying to find some good deals down there, and we own a couple in the area. And so I was like, I keep getting amazed, man, like where the market is, obviously, but I'm just like such nice houses that are sitting around, and having to price cut and whatnot. And I saw this one and I was like, well, that one seems, to me at least, seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know. I've seen people argue over pineapple on a pizza, so who knows, right?
Yeah.
And so this one, like I said, I was potentially going to throw, because we're basically what we're doing is we're doing flips up in the Portland area. I live in Damascus. And so basically I just take the money from those flips and I throw them at rentals. And so we just do buy and hold is what we're doing.
Smart.
Yeah. So, nice little tax write-off, right, for buying a house. But I was calling you because I was like, dude, I don't understand. Obviously this thing looks super nice. And I was just wondering, like, have you turned down any offers at this point?
No, we have received no offers.
No
it's just the
way.
Market, it's really the market. The house is fine. I mean, honestly, there's just it's less than, it's about 2 years old, maybe a little less. Like I said, they invested a lot of money into this solar panel system, but they have to move. So
Shoot.
That's their loss is somebody's gain. And if you do it as a rental, you can hopefully not have to cut into, or advertise it, as such.
Yeah.
And it would be, you might be able to bump your rental amount a little bit too. So yeah. Bring me an offer. Bring me a good, solid offer, and my clients would love to entertain one.
Okay, cool. No, I'll absolutely write one up today. I also, so I can go down there and walk it, but I've walked enough of these to know that in that area, these newer subdivision houses, and the pictures and everything, I already know the quality of it. And so, do you know like where they stand with things? Like, are they looking to get this done by a certain date? Like, what's kind of their priority with this one?
Yeah. So they haven't made, they're actually in Minnesota as we speak.
Okay.
They have not found anything or made any offers. Maybe some rent back would be nice if that would be a possibility. I think they would be okay with a standard 30-day escrow and maybe rent back. So the sooner we can close a deal, the better, I think, for them. So.
Okay. So kind of did you say that I didn't catch that. Did you say that they are in Minnesota already, or they're still?
No, they are in Minnesota visiting. I should have said
Got
that.
it.
Sorry.
Okay.
But their daughter is around. who lives with them. And,
Okay.
And so if you want to book a showing or anything, just let me know before you go, because
Okay.
we need at least a couple hours advance notice.
That will not be a problem because it'll take me probably an hour to drive down there anyways, and I'll have to plan it. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me know. And what was your name again?
My name is Brad.
Brad. Okay,
Yes,
Brad.
sir.
Well, like I said, we'd love to entertain a solid offer. Like I said, they've really cut 10,000. Well, about a week and a half ago, they cut 10,000 off it because they really wanted to see it. I'm getting showings. I just don't know.
But no offers on it, huh? Nobody's actually written one up.
Nope.
It just blows my mind, man.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, the market's just acting kind of weird right now.
Sure.
We should be in that mode where people are bark dusting and doing all their house prep and stuff, getting ready for sale. And it's just, we're just not there. I mean, I'm relatively busy, but yeah. So I got another one in Beaverton. If there's any interest, that's the same thing. It's been sitting. It's a townhome.
Okay.
Don't know if you're interested in townhomes, but I can text you that address. Absolutely nothing wrong with this house. I am baffled. Same thing. I'm baffled as to why it's in Beaverton. Would make a great rental. It's a tri-level, so you got upper level, main level, and then down below is the garage. But same thing. The only feedback I've been getting on that one, Brad, is that the bedrooms are a little small. I don't think the primary bedroom is not small at all, but I think it's the other two that they're saying are small.
Okay. And this is in the townhome, you're saying?
It's a townhome in Beaverton. I'll text it to you after we hang up.
Yeah. Text me the listing on that one because I'll take a look. Also, I'm not I'm not tied to Salem at all. We own rentals in Oregon City, up in Vancouver, different areas.
Wherever you can make money, man.
Exactly, man. Especially today.
Yeah.
It's rough out there, but
right. Are you at your desk right now?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Instead of texting it, let me just give it to you, the address.
Sure.
Or you want the
Go ahead and mute. And just so you guys know, we mute in between calls just so that we can protect that address and protect that deal. If you guys want to see the behind the scenes stuff, you're going to have to come catch us in our Discord, which should be in this listing here. It's free to join, guys. It costs you nothing. It's just a place for us to connect and share ideas. Because it's honestly the only way that you're going to get a hold of either Brad or us. We are far too busy to even look at Messenger. So if you're on Messenger, YouTube, if you get over to our YouTubes, you can check that out, and we answer every comment there too. So if you guys want to show some love.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
So well, let me know on either one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll dig into this one. Oh shoot, man. What the heck? What's going on with this one? What's the story there?
I have 162 days. I am beside myself. I get calls all the time. I'm getting about maybe 1-2 showings a week on average. And the only feedback I've had is that could be that it's a tri-level.
Okay.
That could be off-putting to some, either with, mobility challenges or whatever.
Sure.
But, yeah, it's a beautiful home.
Okay.
And I've got the floor plans attached to, and you can see all that. You can even see the garage floor plan. The garage is great. It's like a deep garage, single, but deep. And then it goes off to the side, so somebody who likes to work out can do, like a little gymnasium or whatever they want to do with it, But yeah, nothing wrong with it. I mean, definitely, I encourage inspections on either home. But,
sure, yeah.
I'm baffled on this one. So
okay,
yeah, it's the market, man. It's just doing some weird stuff and. But anyway, check it out. Check the other Bivens out too, and let me know.
No, absolutely will. On this townhome, I saw that you put in the remarks there. possible VA assumable loan. So it looks like they bought this on a VA.
Yeah.
Are they tight on equity or anything? Like, is there any sort of like, are they like any room to price cut is my question.
Send me an offer. I'll leave it at that. They're like I said, they're motivated. They've already made some price drops. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of wiggle room on this one.
Okay.
If you were to send a reasonable offer with the emphasis on reasonable, I would love to present it to them. Are you a cash buyer or loan?
So I obviously both. I'll do both, but
okay, so
most
you'll do both. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Most of the time though, here's what I'll say about that. Most of the time, my bread and butter, what I love to do is I'll buy a house cash just because it's easiest, and then so I'll buy a house cash and then I'll go out after the fact and I'll go refinance in a DSCR. So if I can buy it at an amount, and I'm okay leaving some money in the deal, I'm not I have to get all my money back out, but as long as I can get it to a point where it cash flows and it qualifies for the DSCR, I have zero issue doing that deal. And so the reason I ask about the VA loan is because what I have been seeing a lot lately is these guys who, they buy with these VA loans, which are zero down, and then they need to sell their house, in a year, 2, 3 years, and the market hasn't gone up to appreciate for it. And so they don't typically have a lot of room to even price cut or to negotiate,
Well, their equity is lean on it, but they, for personal reasons, they both needed to get out. They're already in Colorado, hence the reason why the house is vacant.
Oh, wow, okay.
So they're already they've been living in Colorado, so probably about 4 months now. So
everybody's leaving us, man. Where are they going? Where are they going?
I don't know, but it opens the door for sales. So
ain't that the truth? Yeah, that's the truth, huh? Okay. Well, here's I wonder, I don't know if this would be their case, but a deal that we just actually, one of the houses that we just bought in Salem, for the Beaverton house. Have you had the conversation with him about maybe wrapping the house to somebody?
I'm not sure what you mean.
So the Salem house, what we did was there was actually a divorce case. So they were, they needed to sell the house. And they had only had it for, I think they bought it back in at the end of 24 ish. It was pretty recent. But they needed to sell the house. And so, they weren't able, that subdivision still being built out, blah, blah, blah. They couldn't sell it for what they owed the bank. And so what we did as, the investment group was we stepped in and we took over the loan from them. So, bought, but
they stayed on title.
Correct. So it's okay. So it sounds like you understand that.
Yeah. So there would be no interest in either case on that.
Okay. So you knew what I was talking about though. So you've had that conversation with them.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And what was their response to it, or the kind of their understanding?
They want to cut and run. I mean, one of them, like I said, Beaverton's already in Colorado. They just want to kind of be done with this one. And then in Salem, they're I can't say they're middle-aged couple, and so their pain tolerance or risk tolerance is very minimal. So okay. Have they considered renting it out, or they're done? I'm sorry?
Have they considered renting it out themselves?
No, they want to be done.
They don't want to do it, huh? Okay. And then last question, because I don't want to be bugging you too much, but is the Beaverton, are they looking to get it done by obviously as soon as possible, but is there like a absolutely need to have it done date?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
No, they've given me a plan already for the next few months. If it should sit, I'm still bewildered as to why it's still sitting, but yes and no. Like I said, I understand the market. So
yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, here's what we'll do. I'm going to dive into the Beaverton one a little more, and then I'll write up an offer on the Salem one. And then at least that way we have a place to start the conversation with the seller. And then that way, I'm serious and we're not wasting anybody's time. Sound fair?
Yep. Bring it.
I love it, man. All right, man. Wait, well, thank you for taking the call. You're one of the rare agents that actually pick up these days.
No worries. Hey, thanks a lot. Look forward to something with you.
All right, I'll shoot you a text with my contact info, and then just a heads up to where all my offers and stuff are going to come from.
Sounds good. I'll do the same with my digital business card back at you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Brad. See ya.
Bye.
I'm pretty sure he just called you Bryant, but hey, it's cool.
What'd you say?
I said I'm pretty sure he just called you Bryant, but hey, it's cool.
No, he said Brad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that was a great call, and I was just shouting it out. I'm getting to the chat over here on the side as well. It's nice because StreamYard produces it on all the platforms. So wherever you're seeing this from, if you guys got any value from seeing Brad take a shot at a direct to agent outreach for something in his backyard, then like it, right? Let him know. Give him a comment. Let him know. So that if you're watching this from the past, right, 48 minutes in is where we were. I did a time hack there just so that you guys, whatever you're looking for, right? Because a lot of people are here like, okay, well, how am I going to use this information? Why would I even watch Eric and Brad run their mouths for 2 hours doing this stuff? I know, at least I'm pretty confident that they're making money doing this, but I've never really thought of myself in that capacity. I've never looked at it as I could do that too. Well, what you saw was Brad just have a conversation with another human. That's all that was. That was it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, there was nothing fancy to it. I was just, I pitched sub 2, and via his tone and via how he turned it down, I knew that, they've been on market for a minute. So clearly, he's been hit up with the sub 2 stuff prior. But I threw it out there to open the door. I didn't want to give him hard press on the first call because I know I'm going to talk to him more. If he's been on market that long, they've had the conversation, they've said no. I know just from experience they will circle back, and I want to be the guy that wasn't like an asshole. You know what I mean? I want to
exactly. This is when we talk about this, and you'll see this with us on other videos as well, is when we talk about creative. So they talk about touch points, right? How many touch points? Everybody's looking at the data, or at least the good ones are. They're like, well, what's our conversion rates, and how many times do we have to talk to these people before we get a contract? And everybody, especially in the very beginning of learning how to wholesale, they're like, well, how many calls or how many dials do I have to make, right? And I'm like, don't focus on that. Just get out there and keep taking swings at the bat, right? Through there, you learn through this, and this is what you're very, very good at, is matching tone. And so we used to teach this, and this is something I still live by, is what you just did. You came in there and you assumed rapport, right? What was this guy's name?
Victor.
Victor. Hey, Victor, this is Brad, right? Like, you came in there and you stayed here. He was here though, right? And he didn't match your tone. He didn't go above your tone. He stayed right down here because he wanted to, and what I imagine was to assume authority on the phone, right? Is I'm not excited to talk to you. I'm a busy guy. And that's where he should be. He's maintaining his station because he's a good agent, right?
Right.
And that's a good sales tactic. It's a good sales, tool to use. And then, but what did you do? You stayed here, right? And that's one of those things is if they go high, you match their tone. If they match your tone, then you stay where you're at. If they go low, you stay where you're at. You don't go down to them. Now, there is something called mirroring, right? And that's what you did is you mirrored his cadence. You slowed down how fast you were talking. You got him to laugh. You got him to let his guard down just a little bit. That's what those notes are in the comments in the side here. But that switch to creative, you didn't go too hard in the paint, dude. You went in there, you dropped the seed, and now you're going to follow up, and that's where that law of reciprocity is going to kick in, and that's where the money's in the follow-up, right? Like it's So it's every creative deal's a no until it's a yes, guys.
Yeah, I could have pressed him, right? Like I could have been pushy about it. And like because I. The overcome there, if I really wanted a hardcore press was, he said they just want to be done, right? And I can ask, I can dig into that point of like done, like they would just want to be done. Like, what does that mean, right? Because more than likely they don't understand it. They, think it's a scam, like whatever, right? And so I press that? Yes, but I know, given these two houses that they've been on market and his tone when he first responded, that he's already had this conversation. He's sick of people bringing it up to him. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to lean hard into rapport. I'm going to actually send him an offer so that he knows I'm serious. And then I'm going to pivot back. As soon as he denies me, as soon as he says, no way, that's like stupid, Brad, that's offensive, right? Then I'll pivot back. Well, look, here's we touched on this before, but this would be the only, other offer that I could come up with. And then that at that point, I'm problem solving with him, not pushing back.
Exactly. You're on the same side of the table at that point, right? And so what you just did is one of the catchphrases is cash first, creative last, right? And what you're also doing is you're cash conditioning so that, you know, that's how you get people like me that get these amazing creative finance deals. And you're like, how the hell did you negotiate that? Well, it's because I didn't give them the sink, right? I didn't give them, you know, I didn't give them everything because this is still a negotiation, folks. And less is more in a certain regard. Why would I tell somebody I would give them list price if I don't have to? Why would I do that with my investors' money? Why would I do that?
I hate when people say that.
They're like, I use my money, but I also use other people's money. So why the hell would I use somebody else's money like that? Like,
yeah,
just giving away money. That doesn't make any sense at all. And so it never did to me, right? And I heard that and I was like, I get what they were saying though. They're saying is this is a tool for you to have the confidence to go in there and negotiate and not give away the, you know, the everything in the closet too. Right. Yeah. Is be willing. And that's that in the past, the way I say that is I'm always like in the past, we've even come up to and even beat lists depending on the circumstances. But one of the things that I always like to do that I know you'll do on the next call, this isn't towards you, but this is towards the people that are watching, is in those moments when you're ready to go for it, when you feel it and you're ready to do that and you're not just educating to educate. Right. Note that the agent didn't ask him any questions about creative finance. He could have told him everything he knows about creative finance because he learned it from a guru, but he didn't do that. Right? Because he's waiting for a solution. He's waiting for a problem to be presented for him to offer a solution. Right now, there's no problem. He just wants an offer. Okay, so we're going to start with the cash offer. This is where I'll be. Right? And that's absolutely not going to work. Well, I get it, you know, and we could talk about the numbers. We can structure a deal that makes sense. Okay, well, this isn't solving the problem anymore, but what about this other thing? Absolutely not. Well, what does it look like for you? You've been on market for 300 days here. So what's that like for you, Mr. Agent? What's that like for you, Victor, dealing with the seller that just has no motivation to sell and is completely unrealistic? Because I'm telling you, if and I've said this to 100 agents, is the cost of something or the value of something is not what you list it for. It's what somebody's willing to pay for it. And if it's listed for 300 days, the market's telling you something.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's always user error. I know that. I mean, even when I talk to people about even going to the doctor, they're like, this idiot doctor. I'm like, idiot doctor. Like, I get that people are idiots. I totally get that everybody could be an idiot, but that's still a doctor, an expert in the craft. And so you're saying this agent, this expert that you're going to give up 3, 6, and 9% of your equity to go to be a professional for, right? You're saying that they're stupid and they're ignorant, but it's like, I think you might just be unrealistic. So let's talk about it. What are your actual goals? And that's what you're trying to do right now. Is that not your goal right now, is to get that seller on the phone and have a real conversation?
Yep.
So what are your next steps, Brad? What are you going to do next for anybody that's watching that's about to make their first calls or have made 100 calls and are looking for that yes from a direct to agent outreach standpoint?
Well, I mean, next step is to do what I said, right? So to make sure to continue building this rapport and trust is to do what I told him I was going to do, which is to send him an offer. So a lot of the times, like, you can get caught up in, making calls and like, that's, the fun part. And then you get nervous about actually sending an offer. Send the freaking offer. Like, it doesn't matter how low it's going to be. Let it be offensive. Like, you can give a little fun tag at the beginning, like, hey, this is going to be offensive, but this is where I got to be. Right. And then at least like once I get the denial, because I know it's going to be denied, that's going to be a stupid offer that actually works for an investor, right?
Right.
And it's not a retail agent offer. So once I send that and I get the denial, then I'm going to call him back up and I'm going to say, maybe we can record that actually. So, but I'll just call him up and have the conversation as to what we can do to make this work. And there will be a pivot to creative once again, but got to be smooth with it.
Yeah. And I think that'll make it to where I can get rid of these damn headphones. No, I agree completely, man. It's a matter of touch points, and I just made this video, and it'll be pushed out of probably a short or whatever. But I just closed a contract. It took me. It took Will Ziegler on the team. He's a hell of a closer. Took him 6 full months. It was one of the first things that he called when he first got with us, and it was I think that one was a direct mail lead. And that person just wasn't ready at that time. And if you're having the right conversation from the very beginning, you don't have to annoy people, right? And hassle them and bug the hell out of them. We just had several follow-ups, and we eventually locked up a contract about 6 weeks ago and ended up closing it this last week, or I think it funded today.
Gee.
But 75 touch points. You see what I'm saying? And here's the thing, folks, is 75 touch points, and I think the net on that was like $6,100 for 7 months of work, right? But is it really that much work to hit your follow-up and put some discipline in your body and hit that follow-up once a month?
Yeah.
Because what you just said, you said that you were going to submit an offer. And then the ball's back in their court.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten any offers with that.
No.
With either house, he said. So, the fact that they haven't gotten any offers means that my offer will be the first one that sets the tone for, where the market is, right? And a lot of the time, like, you can play this up to where you can talk to the agent and, like, you can kind of make a joke out of it that, like, hey, well, at least, like, if they don't like my offensive offer, at least, maybe it'll help you get a price cut, right?
Right.
Because every single time that I say anything to the agent, I want to be on their team. Like, I want to be walking with them on the same side. I want to be on the same side of the table, solving a problem, not opposite sides, arguing, right? Negotiating, which people often think about as like being opposite side of the table, push pull. Like, honestly, you want to be on the same side of, did I say same side? Opposite side of the table, push pull. You want to be on the same side of the table, looking at the problem together, solving the problem.
Listen, you're not winning a negotiation if the other side feels like they lost, period.
Correct.
That's not a winning negotiation, especially when it comes to something like this and something as something as potentially emotional and close to something like a real estate transaction, especially even added to that with creative, which is, I'd say, is 75-25. 75% of most of the sellers that I speak to are going away from pain, and maybe 25% or so are going towards gain, right? The two things that are actually moving the market, which is fear and greed, right? You're running away from your problems. That's the ostrich syndrome, where, like, I've dug my head in the sand and I'm $40,000 in arrears, right? I mean, I've brought $30,000, $40,000, and $50,000 to the table to satisfy arrears to take over a subject to mortgage. You're not just saving that person; you're saving that house, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because now there's a mutual benefit to not trashing the house on your way out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If nothing else, it's like now you can leave with your dignity intact, and on top of that, you'd have a performing mortgage to help protect. You think about that: $50,000 in arrears for a $2,000 mortgage. Somebody do the math there. Right. Like that person's been going through some shit, and that's the big piece. Yeah, like, I'm serious though. Like, that's the piece, right? So, like, the reason I'm so good on the phone from most of the people that I've talked to is because I have a crazy high level of empathy, right? Just it's that I've been through some shit myself, right? So that's where that empathy comes from. Sympathy. Empathy doesn't do us very much here, but you can learn to be empathetic. You can learn to be inquisitive and talk to this. So basically what I teach is you have to know your clients. So even if you haven't been through any shit, like, let's say you're 18 years old and you've had a silver spoon, shoved in your mouth your whole life, right? Let's just say that that's been the thing. I don't hate you, because I met people at TCU that are harder workers than anybody from the trap that I've ever seen, right? Like, so anybody that's been from the ghetto or I've been in a hard life or anything like that, I've seen the hardest working people I've ever worked at there and there, right? So I don't think that it matters how much money you were born with. It's what you do with the gifts that you're given, right? And this is it. I mean, this is the gift of gab. So, like, you have the empathy level that allows me to connect on a deeper level. So this is the name of the game, guys. If you want to do what I'm doing, you either have to be first to the draw in a real urgency case. And once you've seen real urgency, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. Somebody that needs to sell their house, right? That will do whatever it takes to move this in 10 days or less, right? They do. Right. Once you see that, you'll understand what I'm saying is you still have to connect with those people. So even if you're 19, if you can find a way to ask questions and shut the hell up, you can learn something, right? Is get to know these people and what their struggles are and how their brain works, right? Not to manipulate them, to legitimately help them. And if you come from that base, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier for you. And ask some questions. I'm not talking about, like, go to your local 7-Eleven and talk to a crackhead. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about talk to the sellers that you reach out to and ask them about their problems. And instead of just trying to get information to get a paycheck, actually get to know them a little bit and figure out what the hell they're going through. And then you can help navigate and avoid them ghosting you, right? because it's the ostrich syndrome. You get them to sign a contract. This just happened. It still happens even to me that somebody signs a contract, we go to get a buyer walkthrough, and then they're ghost, right? Even with the perfect sales system and everything else, there's still those ones that come along. So it's not you, it's your system, right? And there's always room for error, I guess is what I'm saying. So don't beat yourself up too much. Anyway, I wonder if there is any questions. Let me take a quick gander. I'll just do it every time, man. This shit blew up last time. I think that the community that we are going to build here, guys, is going to be special because I don't think there is a dumb question, especially when you were trying to escape this bullshit thing that we've been fed that we have to go live and die for our company. I don't think that anybody needs to do that. There's a way to do it outside of that. No. This is it. Creative finance. It starts with what Brad's doing right now, which is direct agent outreach. How much did you pay for that lead, Brad?
$0.
How much? What was that?
Big money. $0.
Zero whole ass dollars. Right. But here's the thing: you pay for this in time, money, or some other type of resource, right? So if you don't have the experience, right, and you don't have the money, then you have to spend time, and that's what this comes into. So, Brad, how many calls do you think you've made? I've made probably tens of thousands at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, 100%. Like, I mean, it's in the thousands at this point. To circle back to your point though about like, how much I spend on leads. I spend no money on marketing, zero. And I think that was the biggest thing for me when I was first jumping into the real estate game was this with, everything that you go into. This is why I love doing this. This is why I love direct to agent. It's because it is so accessible. Right. It is literally what you said of it's either time or money. Right. And so when you come into real estate investing or wholesaling, whatever, because they're not the same. Whenever you come into wholesaling, it is, I don't know like how to say it nicely. There's a lot of BS out there as far as, what you need to have, what type of marketing you need to be doing, spending money on, letters, mailers, or
a lot of distractions. There's a lot of distractions.
Right. And it's because somebody is always selling you some sort of deal, right? Somebody is selling you on some sort of affiliate or whatever. And here's the deal. Yes, 100% you will do more deals that way because it's scaled. Because you're moving up in the game. But should you start there? Absolutely freaking not. Until you learn how to talk to people. That's the biggest piece. If you can't close a deal, right? If you can't freaking,
how can you pay for something that you don't understand?
Well, because even if you're presented with all these leads, right? Even if you do start all of that and you start getting leads in and you can't talk to people to close a deal, what are you going to do with that? Like you can't, there's no point. You just wasted a bunch of money. And so I love direct to agent for this reason, because it is the number one thing that you can do to just go on Zillow, to scroll to the back. Like we tell everybody, find the house that's been sitting the longest, call up the agent and find out what is the problem. How can I buy this house? How can I help you sell this house? Basically is what you're doing.
And guys, just as a pause, go to my YouTube right now. I made a video on how you can pull a list for free. This is no bullshit. It's how I got started. It's exactly what I learned from Jerry Norton when I was binge watching the shit at the City of Fort Worth. Yep. Like, it's so simple that all you need is a phone call and a spreadsheet. That's the exact spreadsheet that we started with, Brad, when we started doing the creative finance director.
Oh yeah. The Google Sheets,
where I would block my time every single morning and go and do those things, and then we would just go and bang all of this stuff out together, right? And then eventually we watching. And I want to tell you guys all this, and this is the first one that we're doing like this, and we're doing this every single week on Tuesday, right? Same time. It might change as we go along, but we'll plenty of advance notice. Is my favorite thing to do is help people get their first deal. Now, does that mean I'm going to I'm going to sift through all of your nonsense? No, you're going to have to put in the sweat equity, right? So, our time is extremely important now. It's extremely expensive. Brad and I do multiple deals a month. It is, and we have multiple companies, and yes, it's a lot, but we've got the time here. So anytime you're here and you put your hand up and you ask a question, we're going to get it answered, right? That's the name of the game here. So helping people get their first deals, I mean, I can't tell you how many. I don't even have a count because it wasn't a game to me. It was something that I literally lived for. I loved it because my whole time, right? What was the first thing I told you, Brad? I was like, dude, just show me the freaking paperwork. Show me the
just walk me through it.
Deal, dude. I don't knock you up 10 of them. I don't give a shit. What's the number, right? Just And then you sat with me and we underwrote together, and we learned that, and I used my background, and that really lent itself. And then we started growing and learning together.
Yeah.
This became a thing. You got it. That's my last little comment here. I'll take a couple more calls. I got another 30 minutes or so. I guess we got about 45 minutes. As we go forward, we will offer time for more questions. But this is the first one, and we're going to make this consistent so that you guys always know where to find us. So I do have another call lined up, but as far as it goes, anything else that you want to comment?
No, you go for it. I'm gonna have to plug my computer in real quick while you make that call. So, I say go for it. To wrap up that point is like when you're getting started, when you're looking to get into wholesaling or investing, whatever. If you're flipper trying to find your own deals, whatever, it is zero cost. There is zero cost besides your time. As far as money goes, there is zero money in just calling houses on Zillow and trying to negotiate deals. Now, the point of coming here and watching us do this and participating down the line as we build this thing out is that the better you are at negotiating means you do more deals, you make more money. Those are the things that you're here for, right? That's what you're trying to accomplish, so that you can then take that money and then, like Eric has done, is grow that company, right? Is to grow that process, because all the things that I said about cold calling and mailers and all those other forms of marketing like PPC, all that stuff. All that is valid. I'm not saying it's not valid. I'm saying that it costs a ton of money, and you better be ready when you spend that money for the leads that come in, because otherwise it's just a big waste of your time to jump from 0 to 100.
Because I do all of that stuff, Brad. I know. I'm like, we do all of that.
But you didn't do that on day one when you came to me and said, "Hey, Brad, show me the process."
No. I wanted to play with the casino's money. I wanted to play with the casino's money. I quit my job. I did not do this shit haphazardly. Everything I've done in my life has pretty much been calculated to some degree. And quitting my job and getting into real estate was calculated with my wife as well, right? So when I went in here, it was like, this is my fucking mission, dude. Like it has to work, and educating that on that level from the very beginning. Let me get this call out so that we can get some stuff going here. As far as the last piece, we'll have plenty of content. Let's get some action. What do you say?
Go for it. You call them up. I'm going to plug in real quick.
I'd love to lock up a buyer live. I'll even do the contract live. I'll do that in Discord. I'll share my screen in Discord. You guys can watch me fill out a contract. And get it over to escrow. And get my damn assignment check. Let's go. Helps if you remember who you're calling. And so we always double tap, even on the first call. Now, I don't. Hello.
Please leave your message for 626-747-2061.
Hey, this is Eric Vodicka. I was on Investor Lift here. Looks like you showed some interest in a property I've got available here. The address is 424 Westview Terrace. If you are still interested in that property, would like to get any more information on that, want to make sure you had the link to the Google Drive and all the pictures. We are trying to make a decision on this one this week, so I wanted to make sure you had everything you needed to get your name in the hat. You feel free to give me a call back here anytime. The number is 469-746-5316. Again, this is 469-746-5316, and this is Eric Vodicka with 424 Westview Terrace. Thanks. Next. So we always double tap and leave a voicemail. What's up?
Next time I'd mute it so you don't put that buyer's number on blast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's actually put when you comment on the side.
I know. Now I just realized. The kinks, bro.
Hey, this is raw and uncut, dude. I'm having a blast. Like I've been itching to do this for a while, but it needed to make sense, right? I needed something to get here with, right? And it's really it's time, right? It's time to do this. I mean, this is what I do all day long anyway, and I answer questions from wholesalers constantly because you can just reach out and ask me questions. I'm pretty accessible at this point, and I love helping other people change their stars. If you know the reference to that movie, then we can be friends.
Yeah.
And then there's always the point where like I've always got to stop myself from like because I've got ADD brain and I'll speak in like accents.
Wait, you said change your stars. Was that a Knight's Tale quote?
We can be friends, Brad. We can be friends. Yes.
Like, wait, I know I've heard that.
Did you just Google that shit? Wait, I looked away from the computer. Wait a minute.
No. Because I was thinking, I was like, change your stars. I thought it was the Angels in the Outfield at first, and then I was like, no, it's not Angels in the Outfield.
Damn, we took it back to plastic VHS covered Angels in the Outfield. Is that Danny Glover? Is that Danny Glover?
That was my movie when I was a kid.
And Doc from Back to the Future was the Angel. I remember that movie, bro.
That was a good one.
We are about the same age. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was the shiznit. All right, Dustin. Yeah, let's call Dustin. I think Dustin wants a call. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Don't forget your phrase of the day, man.
If I can get somebody on the phone.
Come on now. I like doing it with people in the South. They respond a lot better.
To these kinds of things, yeah. Like fluffier than a buttermilk biscuit. My favorite is "wash your ass" from the Washington area. My stepdad always says that. You know, you gotta go wash your ass.
Wash.
Till you sweat.
Okay, let's go.
What's up? Clothes plus stuff. What's up?
What?
How's it going?
Sup. Love
That's it. Just sup. What up, dog?
That's legit. Is that a stand-up paddleboard?
Let's get a redial in here. Remember, we always double tap.
Okay. If you don't get one, I will just call Los Randoms.
Don't you put that evil on me?
Now that one.
Oh, what's up, bud?
Top of mind right there.
Five, 1, 3, 6, 5, 2, 1.
There you go.
Hey, Dustin, this is Eric Vodicka. I was looking here on Investor Lift, and it looks like you were showing some interest in a property I've got available for assignment in Arlington. It's 424 Westview Terrace. If you want to give me a shout back, I can give you all the details that you might need for that. We are trying to make a decision on this one this week. If you need anything, give me a holler. You can reach me here anytime, 469-746-5316. Again, 469-746-5316. Thanks. Have a good day. Why is there a... Can you hear the echo? Because I can hear the echo.
Sweet. No, I do not hear an echo.
I'm sorry?
I do not hear an echo.
Fantastic.
Oh, shoot. There it went. Okay.
And so as we move forward, I'm going to start scheduling actual calls during this time. And as you guys interact with the posts, right? If you want to see me talk to title companies, Brad's going to handle a lot of the front end stuff, and you'll see me do that as well. So you can see some different flavor in between like direct to agent outreach. I have no problem doing any of this stuff. I cut my teeth doing this. I can step back into that pocket easy as now, easy as anything. But there's a lot of other stuff in this business, as you just heard. When we talked about marketing, when we were talking about the difference between Brad and I, we are similar very much as the base and how we got started and everything else. Like you said, Brad doesn't spend that on marketing, right? But at my company, what we've done is we've scaled out, PPC, direct mail, cold call campaigns, AI. We've done all kinds of cool stuff for lead flow so that we could scale past that, 2, 3, and 4 deal a month range, right? So there's a lot of knowledge behind this little platform here. This isn't just live calls. That's what we're going to primarily do here, and incentivize you guys to get out there and get uncomfortable and make your first calls, so that you can come back and you can have a higher level conversation with us, so that maybe we could all learn from each other, right? I'm here to pour into all of you so that we can understand the things that nobody ever taught me, right? I had to go and find this information, and I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on systems, operations, staff, training, mentorships. I mean, the most I've ever spent on a mentorship is $25,000. So if you'd like to learn those lessons for free, right, holler at me, right? I got to see your hand in the air. That's what it is. I need to like, comment, follow, let other people know that we're doing this shit.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, man.
It's wild, but like, look, man, your experience is so industrious, right? So you've been on the development side. You have started your own business, multiple businesses now, right? Yep. And you've closed more deals than most of the closers that call themselves closers that I know.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cool, and we have a different style, especially when it comes to being on the phone. I'm more authoritative, matter of fact, and you're just smooth as butter, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing too. And that's why I like this setup, is because, getting to see different styles, because you're not going to mesh with like, just one person who's up here making calls. And I think that's what we'll do down the line too, is bring up people as they come in here to make calls. Because a lot of the time, like, you'll learn, so like I could say the same things as you, but just differently. Right. And it sticks with some people. Right.
Exactly.
And some people just understand your style better, and like it sticks better with them. And so,
but we both come from the corporate life, right? So we both, we did everything right. We went to college, we did all those things. I just had a different life before I went to college, right? And we just did that at different times. It's really what it comes down to. It's still, that thing, which is sitting in a boardroom and a meeting about a meeting about a meeting. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Like, that's who our audience is. That's who my audience is. That's, hey, you, where are you? Yeah, you sitting there with the earbuds in. That's who I'm talking to you. Right? The guy binge watching. And I hope that someday somebody binge watches these videos and gets any kind of value from it, so that they can go and quite literally change their stars. I know it sounds hokey. I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel. Right. Yeah. Like, that's when I found Jerry Norton and I started binge watching those videos, man, it changed my life. It wasn't just that. It was, the standard rich dad, poor dad stuff. But primarily it was being completely miserable, left holding the bag, working for the city, just hating my life. I did everything right. Why am I still miserable? I make $150K a year. Why am I miserable?
Yeah, it's really funny that you say that, because Jerry Norton is exactly like, when I discovered Jerry Norton's like live call videos, I was like, this is a gold mine.
This is what we want. Like, this is all I needed. And
what I was looking for.
But I'll tell you what, my style is completely opposite of that man, right? And I never even used, I can't put a finger on any one thing that I used from him, because I didn't do a sales academy. I didn't do all of that. I read different books, and we'll share that here as well, right? Which is like one of my favorite books that I tell everybody about. There's 2 different books that I preach now: Spin Selling by Martinez, and then David Sandler, Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. Right.
Oh, funny.
I give that as homework to any wholesaler that wants advice from me. I'm like, well, where are you at? And they're like, well, I make all these calls and I can't get any conversions. I'm like, well, read this book and then we can chat, because I need you to be able to talk like this for me to have impart the education on you.
Right.
We get here so that we can streamline this shit. I don't have time for you from this point to this point. You got to put in the sweat equity. If you can show me you can get to here, I'll pour into you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're the one with time, and whether you're taking a shit on Saturday morning and reading a book, or if it's in between the ballet and the wrestling practice and making cookies, or whatever it is that you're up to, right? You can put an audio book in your ear, and then you can come back to me with questions, and I will answer your questions. That's my pledge.
I like it. All right.
Also, this is how the content that you're going to get from me is going to come, right? Is raw and unfiltered. Like, I don't have time to be fake with anybody. So we're at about an hour 30 here. I love that we've still got 2 people in here checking it out. This will grow undoubtedly because we're not going to stop doing this. And I would love to get some other faces on here. We have room for a couple more seats. We'll probably have some guest stars in here. I've already got a couple in my sights that I know personally, and just in recent time have seen them dominate on the phone for multifamily deals, for land deals, development deals, all kinds of cool shit. So we just need to know what you guys want to see. Other than that, I figure let's try and get one more call each and then cut it.
Yeah, it's fine. I can make a call if you want. I didn't know if you were trying to get the next one.
No, I'll keep going in between, man. And this is the thing. We're going to be here every week. Trust me, you will get plenty of both of us. Because I have 2 hours slotted for this, and that means that for those 2 hours, that's what we're up to. And so I'd like to leave the rest for comments. And it's nice to see you, Bill.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Holler.
All right, I got another one for you. Oh, you haven't even hit the pineapple one yet, though. Damn it. Okay. I like this one. Maybe we'll do it next time, but that's about as popular as a screen door on a submarine.
I remember that one. That's a good one.
It's clean. Or as useful, I guess. You could say that. About as useful as a screen door on a submarine. All right, let's make this cow.
You know, it's one of those things, and guys, I have a lot of grace and patience, but when somebody comes to me and tells me that they're an awesome, they've done 100 deals and all of this other shit, and I have to remind you to send your wire instructions to title so that you don't get a check, that's not on me, honey. That's on you. Oh, I don't want to pay for your TC fee. Okay, well then make sure you're on point. Whoa, what happened? They're sending a check? Yeah, because you didn't want to pay for the TC fee and you didn't get TC level service.
Okay. Let's call this.
And then 214. What's up?
Oh shit, that's Jeff. Anybody else here?
What to do, Pop Smurf?
Well, I'm on a.
I'm trying to get Eric on. All right, perfect. Eric, I know you're on live. Brenda, she's about to call me right back. She was at work. Her phone has no signal. She's calling her nephew right now. So I'm telling her, she's gonna call me back. I'm gonna schedule a different time because we're not about to play that game. So how do you want me to handle this to make it work for your buyers?
Yeah, the only way this is working is if I could direct access to that nephew. I'm done playing this game. This obviously didn't work again, and these are serious buyers, guys. And that's what I'm drawing a hard line. This isn't a hard line in the sand; it's a hard wall. They're either going to give us direct access or they're in breach of contract.
Perfect. All right, let me let her know.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll have that call too. You can bring me in as the bad guy, but listen, you're under contract, and yes, this is live. This is how you do business, folks. Is that you have to do this. So yes, yeah. If you need me to do that call, I'll do it live, or I'll do it off camera. I don't care. But they're still not going to be there today, right? They both pulled off. I saved face. I did all of that. Not a great look, but it is what it is.
Got it.
Yeah, listen, buyers are liars, sellers are worse, guys. This is not on you. You guys made 50 phone calls over the last week to try and get this done. This is not on them. Sellers suck sometimes, folks.
No, real talk, bro. All right, she should be calling back in like a couple seconds, so I'll let her know that we need direct access with her.
Yeah, and it's nothing crazy. It's just give me the nephew's name and number so that we can coordinate. And if he needs to pivot, we don't have to wait for you with a dead cell phone at work. This is not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Agreed, 1,000%.
All right. Much love, guys.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Man, I'm telling you, man, Jabs is one of the most solid dudes out there. If you get a chance to work with Jabs Carter, you need to. Him and his team are killers out there. But cool. We also deal with this, right? So we did everything right on that contract. Good communication from the very beginning. And then, unfortunately, some people put their head in the sand throughout the closing process. And that's why we have a pretty detailed process where we follow up. Well, follow-ups broke down about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and we couldn't get them there. And then buyers that I had already spoken with started to get antsy and saying, hey, look, I want to buy this property right now. I've already done my comps. I've done this. This is a solid deal. All I got to do is verify condition on the inside. Guys, everything up until this point, all of the work, everything from paying for this lead, wherever it came from, all the sweat equity that Jabs and his team put into getting it to that point, and then to bring it over here for dispo, and all of the sweat equity we have put in, which is the hundreds and hundreds of calls, right? Dials, just like you saw. Trust me, it's much more efficient than we're doing right now. This is for you guys so we can break down the calls and you can get the education as well, right? But when I power in and I do a power block, I'm doing 100, 200 calls in an hour, right? Dials, constantly doing this. So all of this work to get to this point for the seller to go ghost for whatever reason, right? And this is the second time they've done it, which unfortunately you have company policies is one thing you can lean on, but you also have a contract that you have to give me ready access with notification. On multiple occasions, we've given you 48 hours plus notice, and you've bailed on both of them, right? So there's money at play here, you know, like all of that costs money. Time is money, right? But this is why you have to have an ironclad sales system from the very beginning, and that's what Jabs has on his side of the table too. So that's why I was saying I've never done that live with another person, but he knew I was live. So Jabs, much love, brother. But no, Jabs and I are cooking up some awesome shit over here in West Fort Worth. This is our jam over here.
He's out there?
Heck yeah, man. That's the event that I'm going to on Saturday. I'm going to go talk about creative finance and how you can basically do this with no money. But again, it takes time, right? So, you know, this game's hard. Get a helmet. That's funny, though. Thank you.
This listing.
It was really nice. It was really nice. The things I put in motion last week are starting to come to fruition. Like, for instance, I just saw that my assistant, Lizelle, was in that room together with that call. That's something I put in place to help streamline that communication between wholesalers and me when we're disposing contracts and making sure that they are my clients just as much as the buyer or the seller, is to make sure that we're doing good business with each other to give these contracts the best chance of success. Multiple touch points. It's annoying at first, I'm sure, but once you get used to it, it's like, holy shit, okay, now we're closing 5 deals instead of 3, right?
Yeah.
And now we've got this residual to try out all these new marketing channels. And now that's how I built out PPCs with that and helped with some capital partners. Okay. So yeah, we got lessons to learn, folks. You got any questions? You know, if there's 4 people. If not, stop by, say what's up.
I'll call this real quick. This listing's about to hit a year on market. Do you think I should, like, when she picks up, should I say happy birthday?
So this is it. No, yes, absolutely. Actually, for everybody here and watching this, you absolutely need to do that. But what I will do is I will give you the creative liberty, because this is a creative finance kind of focus. Creative liberty to do that however you so choose, but it better be obvious.
What? What do you mean?
You could just start, like, while she's thinking and, like, there's a dead zone, you could just start humming happy birthday. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so what's that like with you working for the seller? If you could get away with that, that'd be good. You'd be like, what'd you say? Nothing. I was just curious. No, you guys are coming up to a year, right?
Oh, that's funny, man.
My favorite, like I do that with cocky agents, right? The ones that get on the phone and are God's gift to real estate, right? But I've had this listing for 730 days. But then they've done the little trick 40 times where they unlist it, relist it, unlist it, relist it.
Yeah.
And it's like I can see the price changes.
Yeah, exactly. These people. Okay, I am gonna call these people. Let's see how this goes.
Dre's gonna beat me up if I keep vaping on screen. Can't do that. Shout out Dre. Vaping's bad, okay? But so is choking people because you don't have nicotine. So pick your poison, you know? Like, how about a Mr. Gardner? That sounds like a good one to close out. Are you on the phone?
It doesn't seem like it's ringing.
You reached the voicemail.
Nope. I don't know why that went straight to voicemail. That was weird. Try one more time.
Joseph. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Whoever's first.
Yeah, she's going straight to voicemail.
923.
Maybe that's why she's been on market for a year.
That's my favorite comment, man. It's my favorite. I probably say that to myself more than I say anything else.
Jeez.
I'm gonna go back to muting until I get through the
That is totally fine by me, man. Especially on this.
Doesn't ring any bells, but I look investor list all the time.
Nice.
Is that the one you have?
Yeah, so it's 424 Westview Terrace. If you want, I can just shoot you a text here real quick with a link to the pictures and the inspection report, if that'll help kind of streamline. Because you've got a different platform on InvestorLift than I do, so I can't see what you got.
Okay.
If I were better with technology, perhaps, but I'm kind of a monkey. Sorry.
Who do you work for?
I'm with Terra Real Estate, but I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this again. Man, I just lost it. What was your last name, sir? Sorry. Gardner. That's right. Got you here. Okay. Again, new system here, but yeah, I'm with Terra Real Estate. I buy and holds. We flip here locally in DFW and do a whole bunch of different stuff here. I do a lot of creative as well. This one's a straight cash deal. But it is a townhouse. I have walked it. I've got inspection photos. There's an actual full inspection report in this Google Drive I'm about to send you.
I actually am not the end buyer myself. I work for the end buyer.
Okay.
They're a fund out of New York. So they're looking for anything with 2+ beds, 1940s or newer, after repair value up to probably like 650.
Up to 650. So we're just trying to stay underneath that luxury, like the heavy luxury market. We're looking for the quick turnarounds.
Yeah, more blue collar.
I got you. And that's actually what we do too. So a lot of my focus is West Fort Worth, and about as far east as I'll go is that Arlington market. So are you guys, heavy in DFW, or are you more national?
We're national.
Okay. And where do you do the primary bulk of your business?
Dallas Fort Worth.
Nice. Okay. And are you local, or are you also in New York?
Yeah. No, I'm DFW. I live in Euless, which I'm essentially located.
Nice. I'm over here in like the Lake Worth area. I was just asking because that's where all of our holds are. I've got one hold in Arlington. I've got another Burleson, and then 2 in White Settlement. And then the one that I'm currently living in is subject to I purchased a couple of months back over here in Lake Worth.
Okay. As long as we and not to waste your time or mine, I mean, they buy with real numbers.
Same.
They want to purchase around 75%. With actual repairs. So that's where they're
Any restrictions on repairs? Because this one that we're talking about today sounds like it's right up your alley. We're right around that 75% ARV minus repairs. It's just a matter of, your guys' economy of scale. where, how cheap is your construction versus mine, right? I've got a pretty competitive contractor, and we're looking at somewhere between 30 and 40K in rehab to get it up to market.
Yeah, wouldn't know until I see it. But,
Absolutely. So let me do this. I'm going to kick you over the link real quick. I'll shoot you over the address and the link here. There we go. And I've got 0655. Is that the best text for numbers or number for text? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Let me get that over here. Let me get over here. Share this. Man, I'll tell you what, man. My nephew would be proud of me. I'm getting good at this technology thing. And do you guys buy strictly cash, or are you also interested in creative? I'm just curious. Like seller finance, subject twos, wraps, that kind of stuff?
No interest.
Roger that. So just cash only. Okay. Well, so on this, I'm going to kick you over the landing page here too. And what that's going to do is there are some creative deals on there, but there's cash deals on there as well. And as I get more in this DFW area, I'll kick more over to you, because I'm seeing you're saying 2+ beds, 1940 or newer, ARV somewhere below that 650 range. Is there the only other question I have? Go ahead.
Do you work for OfferPad?
Do I work for who?
OfferPad?
No, I don't work for OfferPad. This is InvestorLift. I don't work for InvestorLift. I just pay a bunch of money to use their platform.
Oh, I'm wondering. Well, can you just send me? Is it 424 West? What's the address you just sent me?
It's 424. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, no, OfferPad. That's who did. That's the hired gun that goes and does the inspection. They do a bang up job. So if you are interested at that at the price, as you can see, if you go to the piece there, the opening offer is 155. Buy now is 165. So in that mark there, if that makes anywhere close to sense once you look at comps, and again, if you look this up on InvestorLift, you'll see that we do provide some comps, and then there's a link to this and other things. So if you want more information, we're all ears. We are trying to make a decision this week, though.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and then as far as like a follow-up goes here, obviously I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't set that. If I don't hear anything from you tomorrow, close of business, I'll probably just reach out and see where you and your team's at and where we can go from here.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, brother. Have a good day. All right, so we got that off. And then that'll come next, right? So we keep setting these dominoes, and that's it.
I was gonna put it in the chat, but you were already close to hanging up. But he said that he worked for some company, or
no, he's fund backed, and I saw that from InvestorLift too. I did see his email, but yeah, he represents a fund. He's basically a hired gun for a fund to go find flip opportunities.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and I recognize the name. I'm not going to put that out here. Yeah, but yeah, I've dealt with 3 other agents effectively from the same fund.
Well, the interesting piece, like that, I was thinking through as you were talking to him, is I was like, dude, inside. Obviously, when we have the Discord up and running, inside these lives, like people will get access to all types of stuff. Like all types of like conversations, negotiations, like resources. Like
in the Discord, I'll tell you guys where I've got this locked up at, and why. When you see the actual negotiation, why I move the way I move and say the things I say. You guys aren't going to see it right now unless you've been on these conversations yourself. But this is part of like basically a 3-part process to get what I want out of this negotiation.
Yeah,
I set the seed. I let them look at the videos. You've heard me say this for years now, Brad. It's an excuse for me to follow up.
Sure.
For the buyers is just that I represent a high level of professionalism, and I give exactly what I tell you that I'm going to do, but I also demand, those things in return. And so, that's why I always send over my landing pages to show that I've got tons of properties to market, folks. So if you want deals, all I got to do is shift a little bit of marketing funds over here, and I can go, if I find a hedge fund buyer that is saying that they want to buy 20 properties a month, right? I can shift marketing over there, and in 2 months' time, I'm going to be geared up in that market with direct mail, PPC, or anything else.
Right.
So we can pivot when you get to this point. It's literally just a game, right? And it's ones and zeros. Is this the one's banging over here? I just got rid of my cold call campaign. It wasn't producing the way it needed to, right? So put all that extra money into PPC because PPC is banging right now. PPC is always banging. The shit's just expensive. You hear all the calls that Brad has where, and then eventually you'll hear real motivation on the phone, and PPC is real motivation 1 out of 13 times.
Oh yeah. No, those like when those leads come in, they're pretty fire.
Okay, well, we're rounding out here, and I have circled back here. We'll get better with the technology, just like we did last time. We are better equipped now. StreamYard's where we're going to primarily do most of this stuff. Make sure you're checking out our YouTubes, our Instagrams. I'm posting much more content. I just successfully did 30 days straight of posting, which is a very uncomfortable thing for me to do because I'm a very private individual. But yeah, we're posting now. I'm sharing secrets. I'm doing breakdowns. I need ideas for content, though. I need to know where you guys are at. So let me know. And if you like this at all, share it. Tell your friends. If you know anybody in real estate that's looking to get some answers on some heavily wanted questions that they keep getting hit with, like a big barrier to entry, like a $10,000 mentorship to a guru, come holler at us. I'll give you the behind the scenes, and I'll take a personal interest in you and make sure that you guys got what you need. Brad, I know.
Man. Yeah, there's a lot of like newbie wholesalers that just need to understand how to have these conversations, right? And and that's ultimately what we're showing right here is for those people to understand like how to talk the talk so that once you get a deal and you get it under your belt, then that's where I'm excited to see you take people is to show them like, okay, cool. Like we'll help you negotiate. We'll help you get the deal. Right. And then take you along the process to, if you're looking to actually make this, like a wholesale business, right? If you're looking to make this actually work for you, then there's a lot more to it than just all the guru-y stuff out there that's constantly like, buy this from me and buy that from me, and
I'm not doing that. In fact, I'm going to
financially set off of one deal.
Yeah, we're going to give away a bunch of shit for free. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on charging shit. I mean, unless we have to hire some staff to manage the Discord, we might charge a fee. But other than that, like, it's just going to pay for itself. It's going to be run like a nonprofit. I'm not looking to make money on this. I literally just want to help people. But shit does eventually cost money. Like this platform costs money, and everything else costs money, right? So it's you gotta live and work with it. But I had fun today, and it's nice dusting off the rust, getting in front of the camera with you again, Brad. This has been a long time overdue. It's been and it's the open market. It's we're off in the deep end, right? And the Facebook ether, right? Being caught up. But this is where the consistency comes in, and this is my pledge: is that every week I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to sit here for 2 hours, and we're going to zero it in. There was some tech issues this time. I had fun though. Bringing back the phrase of the day. I am disappointed that I couldn't get somebody on the phone, or I didn't think to do that again. We will get back to that, and we will start having some fun with that. So you take the cake today, sir. Today. Oh, you're not even allowed to do that because I bought you a horn.
Oh God, I gotta go dig it out. I know
Unacceptable. Wait, so they call that the Drake horn. I'm not sure if you want to do that anymore.
No, I'll bring it next time.
I'm out.
Oh, stop. Dude, I got so sick of hearing that.
I'm so culturally irrelevant, man. I heard that song like a month ago, and they were like, "Yeah, it was at the Super Bowl." I was like, "What's the Super Bowl?" I worked 20 hours on the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next Tuesday, same time.
Next Tuesday, same time, and you'll see if you head over to our YouTube, or at least my YouTube. I'm starting to put out more shorts. I know, Brad, you've got a ton of content on there. So if you don't know who the hell Brad Contreras is, you need to go over to his YouTube and figure it out.
Start doing a bunch of stuff,
Go watch his content. Get to know him. You'll get to know him here too, because we've obviously, as you can tell, we've worked together for years. We've tag team deals. We've done a lot of business together. We want to share those stories with you guys. So we'll be here every Tuesday from 1 to 3 Central, 11 to 1 PST, just cooking. So bring your ass, bring your notepads, and ask some questions, and let's have some fun. Let's make some money.
Sweet, man.
Much love, guys. Be easy.
Cheers.
I think I can just stop it, bro.
Killer.